Hey guys, here we go. Gear for today. Austere August means I'm going to use the same gear. B35 from Zenith, that's the American designation. It is the 31 millimeter knot, and it's a big bore that Zenith makes. This is a special color handle for the R wetshaving subreddit custom order that we did. This is the knurled handle from the Timeless razor company. Open comb, 68 gap. It's got the Nacet already in it. The Nacet's on use number 513 or 514. If it matters to you, check the video title or the description. It'll have it in there for sure. Chisel Face Midnight Stag is the soap splash and cologne that I'm using. Yeah. My last shave was with one swirl in the soap puck here in the tub. Let's do it again. Let's see if it works again. It wasn't skimpy. The first two were kind of thin, but that's okay. They were thin and highly wet, highly slick, because of the slurry lather method that we're doing here. Starts out with a lot more water. Then the third was luxurious because I squeezed the creaminess, the goodness from the knot, and used that on my face. It's terrific. So the slurry lather method, like I said, starts out with a lot of wetness in the brush, and you load with that wetness in your brush, and so that's why one swirl will work, because over the last several days, half month, I've been using that type of method with this soap. And so we've got residual moisture in there that makes it easy to pull soap up from the tub. If I were to pull this out from a year of not being used, it would be different. One swirl would not do it. All right. So let me get my face wet and then we'll begin. Before things get too crazy with the lather and stuff, let me show you the blade. Nacet that we've been working on. Sharpie dots are right there. The N is up there, the one down there. Just identifying marks there. If you were to use a wet loading method like this on your own type of soft-ish kind of soap, you'd probably be able to get these kind of results too, especially if you used a big bore brush or some other brush that had tips that were a little grabby. Now these do flex, but there's just so many of them, and they're supported by a root backbone that gives it density, and it gives the tips firmness as a group. Individually, you can actually, just very easily, move these tips around. And they're soft, they're comfy on the face, but as a group, they do kind of put forth a little bit of structure. So let's shake the excess water out. We'll still keep it quite wet. And then here we go. Let's do a couple more. All right. One swirl. And that's it. All right. Start on my face. Won't do anything for the first several swirls on my face. And then you can see it start to work. Knowing that third pass had a good bit of lather for me, I spent just now a little bit more time than I did yesterday on that first pass. And I'm confident again, now that I've done it once, it's going to work again. recently trimmed up my hair fully, including my goatee, and so it's a lot easier to see. There's a crease underneath my chin right here, and even when I have a longer goatee, I always shave up to that crease. And there we go. A little water on my face. With a sharper blade, 95% of the stubble will be gone after the first pass, and obviously I don't have that anymore with this Nacet, and so yeah, I definitely still feel the stubble, but that's okay. We've got 2 more passes, no problem. Look at all this lather. Look at all this. This is not skimpy at all. 1 swirl of lather, and I don't even think I need to squeeze out of the brush there. Dare I go for half a swirl tomorrow? Oh my goodness. It's all about the brush and the wetness that's on the soap. That's all it is. It's not some kind of miracle. Picking up 3 lathers worth of soap, 3 passes worth of soap, simply because the tips have some backbone and some dig, because there are just so many of them, and the soap just has that moisture, and so it's very tactile, tacky, very tacky to the touch. It's just got that moisture in there. And now, splash of water. 3rd pass, plenty of lather. Plenty of lather. Oh, a couple days ago, I would have said, no, I don't think 1 swirl is going to give me over 3 passes of lather. But now, I know differently. As always, good razor technique. Even with this old blade, I'm not bearing down more to try to get it to shave better. I just choose multiple passes and little strokes where, see right here, I might do multiple little small strokes in the same spot. We generally call that a buffing action. Sometimes it can be handy if you don't have a really old blade. But always holding the razor lightly, trying not to really move the skin as I'm moving the blade across the skin. I don't want to see like an indentation, you know, as I'm doing it. And there we go. How much more lather do we have in this brush? A whole nother pass. More than a pass, actually. That's hilarious. Splash. It's funny, every time I cut my hair, the gray that's growing out from my scalp becomes more dominant because I'm cutting away the darker hair. So I age about 5, 6, 8 years every time I cut my hair. Pretty funny. Cologne. Midnight Stag. Love it. I also have some Southern Witchcrafts colognes around here. What's this one? Oh, Labyrinth. Love it. Pomona. Really like it too. Wine and apples and spices and stuff. Like that a lot. Very good. I think everything's pretty much cleaned up. Here's the brush after the fact. It's still wet, and so you can't really see as many splits, but this is kind of how the splay is currently working out after about 38 uses, something like that. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. This is hilarious. Really, I think I might have to try a swirl tomorrow. You guys have a good night. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Wishing you all the best. Take care. Good night.